No, it's not. I think it's like an actual. I don't know what it is.
Just an old time. It's got like coordinates on it. Are those like coordinates for? By the way, are we on? Are we going?
Yeah, we're going. By the way, yeah.
There's coordinates for. Is it like a point in Long Island or just vaguely the center of Long Island coordinates?
I don't. This is a great question. What I think it is roads.
Oh.
That's what I think it is. It can't be towns.
Yeah.
There's no way it's towns. I think it's roads.
Do you think it's all the places where there've been reported hate crimes? Something like that?
That would be even. You wouldn't even be able to see any white. It'd just be exclusively black, which how they don't like it.
Yeah. It's like, we don't like this at all.
Even though the places where there would be the most hate crimes are the most filled in.
Are there?
Yes, South
So
Shore.
I know just the generic, let's make fun of Long Island for being garbage, but I don't know like all the particulars so much.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you could fill me in on like what are like the sub or the regional distinctions that are important.
So at the southwest to the middle.
Okay.
Like that's when people think Long Island, they think like Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
That's really what they're thinking.
Okay.
Is that area where it's also the most filled in.
Yeah.
That's where the most hate crimes would be.
Okay.
Then the North Shore is where I'm from. From the
little more
left.
A little more money.
A little more money. That's where the Great Gatsby happens.
Okay.
A lot of rich Jews. Not that many WASPs. You'll see WASPs more towards the city.
Okay.
Further east.
Or further east.
Further east gets more and more Jewish.
Yeah. I know that area.
And then Montauk's, Hampton.
Yeah.
Right. That's. But if you live there full time, you probably don't have that much money.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's true. That's every nice place. Like was that a show where there's a bunch of shows like where it's always just like the hot guy who works at like his dad's restaurant by the shore or something. Like those people, they're there all summer, and then the hot girls are there for like the rich people come just for a couple months. Like that dynamic. I don't know. Like every teen movie, like teen drama show, that's always like the character.
But because it seemed, I don't know Jersey at all. To me, I thought there was money on the Jersey Shore in some areas.
I don't know the Jersey Shore, even though because I'm from Jersey, obviously, but I don't know. I think of it as all garbage. I think. Oh. So I think I don't know if there's that much money. I think there are. Like there's like small like places, like islands. Like I think there are probably some like houses, like those weird islands that go just off the shore people live. Yeah. I think there's probably some mansiony areas, but I couldn't tell you a town. Like I don't know a wealthy town in South Jersey per se.
Oh, interesting.
So that's the thing. Like I could tell you like wealthy towns like in North Jersey or Central and like that kind of area, but like as far as beach towns, to me I think of them all as just scum. That's just what they are.
That's usually what a beach town is.
That's usually what it is, yeah.
But now see because South Jersey, it seems to me, and I'm not a Jersey guy, but from the Jersey people I know, if you are from North Jersey, you know nothing about South Jersey.
I'm suppose I'm guilty of that. Yeah.
Is that the general discourse?
I don't know if that's the general discourse. I think it's also. I think so. Most Jersey people, I think, grow up like spending a lot of time at the shore. I didn't. I mean, I went to the beach, but like because my family's not like I'm not from
Russian.
here originally, so we don't have like generations going back of like a grandparent. Like I had friends who like they had like their grandparents had like beach houses. Like by the shore, and so like that was the thing. Like people would go like I never went to Wildwood, but like we'd go to like the beaches, but we wouldn't be like there are people who are like we're just moving to the shore for the summer, like that kind of thing,
right?
And that's just their part of the life. That was we never sort of inculcated ourselves into that world of like, oh, we have our favorite garbage Italian joint by the shore. They're all terrible, but like I didn't quite live like that, but that's my impression. I don't know enough about the shore, but I know they call. What the Bennies or whatever, like there's like a shorthand.
Bennies?
It's like Bayonne, Elizabeth. It's like
I don't know.
It's basically it's like their version of like the like bridge and tunnel, like the people who just come in for the weekend for the summer.
Oh, interesting.
That's what they call like the rest of North Jersey people, like the Bennies. Like
that's
people
so garbage.
Yeah. They just it's like they resent. It's like when people are like mad at like fair weather sports fans or something. It's like, oh, you guys only come to the beach during the nice time of the year. It's like, yeah,
because we make enough money to do
garbage the rest of the time. Hey, you know what's a nice gloomy place to spend the winter? The fucking shore. No one wants to be there.
You don't want the wind to smack you on the face for 6 months out of the year?
This place is beautiful when you can't use the ocean. Like what? Yeah, they come in just when, like anything where it's like your livelihood depends on other people coming there and then be the nerve to be resentful that people only come there during that time of the year is hilarious to me.
Because see, and like Hamptons, Montauk, they like when people leave.
Oh yeah.
They encourage you to like not be here anymore.
Well, but that's I guess because they all live like these weird lives where they have independent wealth, but they pretend to have an economy that's working. It's like, oh, like they're millionaires, so like I'll open up like a boutique gallery. And it's like that's not a business.
Yeah, that's just a thing.
You're just paying commercial rent for like a business space and to seem productive. It's like when I see my niece playing with like a little kitchen set and it's like moving a pot around. She's not cooking anything, but she feels busy like she's doing something. That's what rich people do at these shore towns. But at least and like the Hamptons, they're like, I'm trying to feel productive, but I don't want a real job.
Yes.
So I'm going to have this gallery or I'm open up a restaurant, but I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just going to like glad hands, do whatever, that kind of thing. But in the Jersey Shore, like they need the income. They're poor. Their lives are miserable.
Right.
They need the tourism dollars. And so when they're not there, they're miserable. And then they resent you all year for not being there. And then when you come and they work a couple months a year doing whatever God knows the thing they have to do just to survive for the rest of the year.
But that's just like, I mean, this is a very like tri-state area thing. Yeah. But this is like a small town economy.
Yeah.
But it's weird that people obsess over the small town economy, but it's like so useless.
Yeah, it's like anything. It's like everything else that's obsolete. Like what? I mean, how many automated jobs have there's how many jobs like cobblers and millers? Like we don't care. No one thinks about those jobs anymore. No. By the way, it'd be funny though if it's because we took their names for that. If we should take all the shitty jobs now, it's like I don't know. It's like a longshore. Like that's gonna be someone's last name in 50 years. Like, I'm John Longshoreman. It's like my grandfather used to do that. I'm a Steve New York Jets memorabilia. It's like I don't know. I'm trying to think of what a shitty thing. It's my friend Tommy Sunglass Hut. Whatever thing. Like your job is obsolete. If you want to preserve it, take it on as a last name, but move out of the way because the future has no room for you. Well, we don't need you.
I don't know. I go to there's a Whole Foods right here. No big deal. I'm doing pretty well.
Doing very well.
And I just went the other day. They took half of the cashiers out and put even more automated.
That's great.
But here's the thing. The same amount of people work there. They're just pointing. They just point at it now. So now I have to do the work they're being paid for. All they do is point.
Ah.
What's up with that?
I mean, it's like just they half thought out the process. It's like, let's just fire them or put them in machines, and then they were like, they're putting up a fight. It's like, oh, I feel bad about this. You point to the thing until they. But it would be funny if then they just feel like they have to come up with a machine that points. Like, you know what? We could get rid of the pointy machine. These people are gone.
The pointy machine has too much AI. They start coming back. Yeah. They're like, no.
Just an iPad
we unionize.
With a screen, just an arrow.
I mean, that's all they have for they have like lines for the regular cashiers, like a red line, an orange line, a green line, and it just goes, all right.
Just automate, yeah. I don't know. I guess it's like, I don't know what kind of job protection they have, or if it's just like they're trying to figure out like where else they can move these people.
But also, like, Bezos doesn't care. Since when does Bezos care? You're just in the way now.
I think he still cares about public image, though.
Well, he's going anti-union on regular Amazon.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think he's probably going anti-union, but like on things like I don't pay that much attention, but like you see those weird. You ever see those commercials where it's like an Amazon driver? It's like this job is great. It helped me pay for my niece's college or some shit like that. I'm just like, I mean, I don't know if those are real people or if those are actors or whatever, but it's like, yeah, I'm sure they're people who are fine with their Amazon job, and I'm sure there are people who want to unionize. I don't really care one way or another. Like I know people think it's like a very heartless, like just cold capitalist argument, but like you could just don't work. And it's like if there's other shitty jobs that are equally shitty, but just choose the less stressful shitty job.
Yeah,
if those are the options.
Have you seen that Amazon commercial? It's like, I don't know what he is, a Filipino guy.
I was trying to think of something like that, yeah.
And he's like, my brother died. Yeah. Then a few years later, my mom died.
Yeah, I bought both of them on Amazon. I got new mom and brother. Prime delivery, boom.
Yeah, they were there the next day.
Didn't miss a beat.
He was like, but then Amazon paid for me to become a nurse assistant or whatever. And I was like, well, aren't you a little late? They're dead already.
Yeah, but now he's on the ground floor in those warehouses where the people have to piss in bottles or whatever. It's like if any of them have like any weird problem, he's like right there to give them an IV trip and keep them moving. You know?
I don't even think a nurse assistant can do that. I think he just does the charts.
I don't know the tiers of nurses. There's like 3 or 4 of them.
There's too many tiers.
And one of them is just like you're allowed to call yourself a nurse, and that's all you're like.
Well, I thought an RN was a nurse.
Yeah.
No. There's RN. There's BSN. There's nurse assistant.
Ooh.
There's too much. I thought nurse was a nurse.
It should be, right?
There's male nurse. I don't know where that falls in.
Male nurse.
I don't know where that falls into the depth chart.
Were we supposed to? Are they also heroes? I just thought it was like the nurses and doctors, but not like this last year with COVID, the medical, but not the male nurses, right? We weren't including them.
First of all, they are part of the patriarchy, so
that's true.
But how? That's a good question. Yeah. They're a part of the patriarchy, but they become nurses. Are they less patriarchal then?
Are they taking over the traditional female position? I mean, are they taking over? Are they excluding women from that, or are they undermining? I don't know.
Or are they not seeing gender?
I think they still see gender. I don't think male nurses all identify as trans.
No. A little fun fact about male nurses.
All of them
are trans.
It'd be fine. You graduate from nursing school. Congratulations, you're trans. I was like, what? No, I just can't really afford medical. I just wanted to do this. Like, well, you're trans.
They give them the name.
Sorry.
It just says they, them next to the name tag.
What unisex name do you want? It's like, what? How does this work?
Well, they're all called Tony for a reason.
But that's funny.
No, what was I saying? Yeah, I don't know. But also, nurses were heroes, and now it's like 50-50 because some of them got the vaccine, some of them didn't.
Yeah, which is hilarious. It's like, was it they work in the industry and like, you guys are heroes, and they were like, yeah, we don't want to be forced to take. It's like, what? What are you guys are the thing? You guys are the industry. You can't be like that. It's so funny that you have to just like if you're the sort of person who's like deciding who's a good person or who you want to associate with based on whether they take the vaccine, and then like the people, all the your favorite heroes are like, we don't want it, and they're like, I can't have all these diametrically opposed positions anymore.
Right.
I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know who I'm supposed to hate based on this.
Well, it's amazing how, like with Rodgers, everyone was harping on him because he didn't get the vaccine.
Yeah.
No one said that about LeBron. LeBron's not vaccinated.
Yeah, it's
because like how much you generate.
There's always that. It's also the black-white thing.
Well, they get Kyrie.
Yeah.
So Kyrie's in trouble.
Yeah.
Rodgers trouble. LeBron no trouble.
Was LeBron? I didn't know that about LeBron. But he was not like. But he wasn't like outspoken like Kyrie was, right?
No, he's just like he didn't answer. He just doesn't answer the question.
Yeah.
Which respect. He will take back what he says about China, but this he doesn't.
It's also
touch.
one of those. Yeah, the China thing's hilarious. But no, but that's just like I'm not refused to answer. It's like, okay, well, so you're not. Thanks.
Right.
Like, who are we kidding here? If you were, you would say you were. But yeah, I think if you're outspoken, then people will come at you.
I did like how Rodgers, and you as a lawyer, I think would appreciate how Rodgers approached it, because when they're like, "Are you vaccinated?" He's like, "I'm immunized," and they're like, "That's sounds pretty good."
Yeah, that's fine.
But really,
nothing.
Yeah. Also, Antonio Brown fake vax card.
That's hilarious.
That's so Antonio Brown.
That's funny. That's a fake vax card.
And it was broken by his former chef.
God damn! Of all the people you think you could trust, the chef.
I was like, "Why'd you fire the chef?" I became obsessed why he fired the chef.
If I had a private chef, I feel like that would be one of my strongest, most personal relationships. Like me, that'd be like my consigliere. Is my private chef?
Really?
Because I feel like you'd spend a good. I feel like you're a food guy. I feel like you'd spend a lot of time, not just really wanting them to like know what you like, and I feel like it's just like that bond. I feel like you'd form a pretty rich bond with them.
But I feel like if you're an athlete, us two that are podcasting, we're telling jokes. We're gonna spend a good amount of time in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown, Russell Westbrook, they're out jumping.
They're out.
We don't jump. When's the last time you jumped?
Good question. You got me there.
Yeah. Guilty.
No, jumped a person.
Oh yeah.
I was stopped them. That was my gang days. But no, I was good. No, but I think also with them, like obviously, like they're probably trying to maintain a healthy diet or whatever. But also, I feel like they probably grew up I imagine a lot of them probably grew up poor, probably didn't have good food, healthy food.
Right.
And I bet they probably also like all that junk food anyway. And when they can treat themselves, I think they probably want that. And I bet having a good private chef who knows the kind of naughty foods that you're not supposed to have.
Okay.
I know.
I support that.
That's why I think it's like I think it'd be a very intimate relationship if you could afford a private chef. I feel like they'd get to know you better than like your therapist or something.
The chef gets to know you better than the
think
therapist.
Because I feel like there's a bond. You're connecting over something because he's making you food. He's giving you something much more tangible and much more nourishing in like a very immediate way than like your
right.
Like what's your therapist giving you? Maybe advice. But
Maybe.
But they're really sharing. They're not giving of themselves.
This is a very good point.
Yeah.
I never thought of this.
I mean, I am just arbitrarily deciding this is a point I'm making now.
I'm a fan of it.
I am convincing myself.
You convinced me.
I'm a damn good lawyer. I'll convince people of things I could care less about, don't believe in. But yeah, I'm declaring it now. Private chef is one of the strongest connections a person can have.
Let me ask you this: if you go see a therapist and the therapist puts out a plate of deviled eggs, is that doing anything?
I mean, right off the bat, not going back to that therapist.
Really? Are you anti-deviled egg?
No, love a deviled egg.
Okay.
Big on the deviled egg. Depending on how I'm a little tired of this. Like, let's do like a beet marinade on it, so you get like the reddish thing. It's like
yes,
adds nothing to me. I don't care about it, but love a classic deviled egg. I like a nice variation on it, as long as it's
little
nothing.
bacon bits on
I
top.
don't mind the bacon bits.
Okay.
I grew up with classic, a little bit of a salmon caviar. It's a very Russian thing.
That's very Russian.
But and I don't mind any avant-garde interpretations as long as still get like the nice, satisfying hint of deviled egg. But getting it from a therapist is just no. Now a salumi plate. Now that's like a shareable.
Oh yeah,
a thing you can pick at more. I think that would be. It's more. I feel like it's more encouraging of conversation, of opening up. I think that's a better therapist gambit to go with. Goes like a nice offering of fine hams and cheeses.
Because now you got me. Now you got me thinking like how to reinvent the business of therapy. What if you never plan a time with your therapist? Yeah. You just go up to get a plate and they walk up to the table at the same time as you. There's your hour-long session.
That's great. That's a great business. It's got a very European quality to it.
Yes.
Like you walk into a cafe and you're just like I know people have that relationship. I guess it's kind of similar if you have a bartender that you really like, but like more of like you have like those cat cafes and
yeah, in Brooklyn.
Like that. You just have therapists roam. They're just there all day. They're like freelance therapists, and then people come in and they come by. It's kind of like a casual speed dating thing, and like there's a table. You start picking up meat. They come by. It's like, hey, what's going on? How you feeling? And you feel them out like instantly. You either click instantly with them, and you say right off the bat, you say, sorry. I don't think I want to talk to a woman about this or a guy talked about it. You come along until you just get that instinct that like I want to see where this goes with this person, and you hit it off, and then you get that sort of. I think there might be something there.
I think we really found something. We could extend this into just like general practitioners, where you go to get a few grapes, and they're like, "How many drinks do you have a week?"
Yeah. It's like, yeah, and then you just respond well to the ones who really. Who you like their tone.
Right.
You just hit it off with them. It's like, I know that other person said the same question, but I just didn't like the way they said it. But the way with you, I connect.
There's something here.
There's something there.
Speaking of European, how was where'd you go? Venice?
Just went to Venice for a couple days, but it's very nice.
Venice for a couple days.
My wife and I, sometimes we'll like to do like a short trip, but really, because, here's the problem with American travel culture is that we don't allow ourselves to take a sufficient amount of time for vacation.
Right.
Like other countries, you get a couple months off for the summer, and you could travel. But in America, it's like, oh, I'm going to do a vacation for 2 weeks. And let's say, so if you're like, oh, I'm going to go to Italy for 2 weeks, you cram too much in. We went a couple years before to Italy. We went to Rome, we went to Florence, went to Sardinia, met up with my parents. It was just like a whole thing. It's just like any trip where there's that much travel in between, if you're doing it within 2 weeks, it's too hectic. It's too much extra travel. You're not enjoying yourselves. But if we focus on just a city and enough time in a city, and you could probably you can really enjoy almost any city in 3 or 4 days, depending on what you like and what you're interested in. So we went to Venice for like 4 nights or something. Whew. 4 or 5 nights. It was just enough time, and it was great. Fantastic.
Just there and back.
Just there and back.
Direct flights?
Now, layover Germany on the way there, Switzerland on the way back.
I mean, it's pretty classy. A Swiss layover?
Swiss layover. I mean, it tells a lot about what you say classes.
A Swiss layover? I was like, wow.
You've been to Switzerland?
I mean, I've done it in Orlando. I've stopped at the Chili's, but I didn't think a Swiss layover.
A Margaritaville in the airport. Now that's...
a Margaritaville.
Which I've done in the Cancun airport. I believe they have a Margaritaville.
Well, that's just culture.
Yeah,
There's culture
local.
there.
Yeah. I asked for a traditional margarita and their favorite Jimmy Buffett song, and I'm enjoying the Mexican airport culture. That's how it works.
Right.
But yeah, no, Italy. Have you ever been? You're not Italian, right?
Nope, I just sound like this.
You're just from, you're like Russian Jewish background too, right?
Not Jewish. Yeah, but Russian.
Really?
Did my dad just throw a remote at the TV?
You could have been quicker to correct me on that.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even get the sentence. I was going to correct myself. I was like, not Jewish, but to be fair, Happel sounds like
it does happen.
It sounds Jewy.
It happens.
Rich.
Yeah, it could be up either way.
But yeah, okay. But yeah, you got that Italian, but yeah, Italy is beautiful. I'd been to Venice before as a kid with my family. My wife never been. It's beautiful.
Well, of course, she's never been. I don't think she's allowed. She's recently been allowed in, correct?
My wife?
Yeah,
because
of the color of her skin.
Because of the color of her skin. Yes, I'll be honest. I was vaguely trying to say, what is the angle he's going? She's brown and she's an illegal immigrant. Is the angle we're going with?
I didn't know she was illegal.
Well, I'm trying to think of what the angle is.
Oh yeah, no, that was a brown joke.
Just that she's brown and brown people are not allowed in the country.
Correct.
Okay, right, because of the Biden thing turning people away.
Oh no, I was just thinking because the only it's famous that Italian black soccer player Mario. I don't remember his last name.
Is it Drogba? No, that's not.
No, not Drogba. No, but he is a black soccer player.
He's a black soccer player.
And I think he played in Italy for a minute. Yeah, he played in Chelsea for a while and then China after, but I don't know if he played in Italy. He might have. No, Mario, something with a B.
Yes. No, I know who.
It's not Batali, because that's the
he doesn't
rapist chef.
Was it rape? Was it rape? It was a little bit. It was very inappropriate. I don't remember the accusation specifically.
If you listen to Taylor Yarish's episode of the Happy Hour, he worked
for the restaurant. Yeah, I thought wasn't there. I thought he worked at a different restaurant where because there was another guy, Ken something, who's I think behind like the Spotted Pig or one of those restaurants.
It was that place.
That guy, yeah. Taylor was telling me about that. Like I think he had like not a rape room, but like a room.
They called it the rape room.
They called it the rape. Were they calling it the rape room at the time?
That was my question.
And
he said yes.
That's a little bit on you.
Thank you. That's what I said.
You joined a new job. It's like, anyway, that's the public bathroom. This is the private one. This is for you. It's nicer. That's the rape room. That's where we keep the storage, the walk-in fridge. It's like, hey, whoa, let's backtrack. Let's double back to the rape room.
Well, the problem is the rape room was also the catering room.
Okay.
Like when big parties came in, they would do it in the rape room.
We'll tell you who he wasn't catering to. Was the interest of those. That's how someone's like, some just like poor immigrant workers trying to pile a bunch of like rice into a giant aluminum tray. And some woman's in the corner crying in her knees. A rape room / catering. Dude, if you gotta have a rape room, you can't be picky and be like, oh, we gotta share space. It's New York.
Yeah.
Dude, you need to at least get one of those Japanese barriers, those little changing room things.
Isn't that so New York City where
it is
the room has to also double as a rape room?
The rape room / the radiator. Radiator, the windows painted over, but we make the most of it. It's just called a rape corner. That's what it is.
Well, unless he used the whole... I don't know how he raped. Who am I to say how Mario Batali raped?
But wait, did Mario Batali use that space? I thought there was another guy who was accused.
Both of them. So Batali and then this restaurateur, Ken... something. Rosenthal.
Rosen. Don't make him Jewish just because you want him Jewish.
No, he is. He is.
I think he might be, but it's not Rosenthal, though.
Call us in if you know, but...
I don't think it's... I think it's Orange. Is it Ken Oranger? I think something like that. Anyway.
I will not... I could look it up right now, but I'm not going to.
It's way more fun.
It's way more fun if you don't.
It's way more fun to just guess what kind of Jewy last name he might have had.
Whitstein? Was there something like that?
Yeah. I think it was Ken Bernie Sanders. And
Ken Jerry Seinfeld.
Ken Hanukkah. Yeah. So okay. So yeah. No, I don't know. If you have a rape room, I don't know what's included. Is it furnished?
I mean, I would imagine you don't take the tables out and the chairs.
Would you use tables?
Yeah, because it was the dining area for large groups.
Maybe like that's a great. Now, if ever there was an appropriate occasion, not appropriate, but like an occasion where a Murphy bed really made sense. It's the rape room. I mean, Murphy beds were made for impromptu rapes. Whew,
I like how you're romanticizing rape. No, like it has to be a bed.
I'm saying no, because I think a Murphy bed classically a repulsive idea. No one likes a Murphy bed. No one thinks they're a good idea. I mean, you only see it in the movies. It doesn't seem like a real thing, and you think like no one would ever respect a Murphy bed situation. But if you are trying to maximize space in a room,
very efficient.
A room that to a certain amount of time a day is devoted to rape. I think a Murphy bed's the way to. If I was like, imagine like I work at mattress firm. It's like, now are you doing a lot of sleeping or a lot of raping? If you want to maximize your use, we have a room in the back behind those saloon doors. Let me take you to the back room. Let me show you our rape selection. Now, you can adjust the temperature. It's like temporary. You can adjust it to your setting. And you can adjust it to her setting, but I don't think you really care about her setting. Otherwise, you wouldn't be raping her to bed. Anyway, it's all your setting. Full time.
Oh man, this would be such a great clip, but I can't use it.
I was thinking about it too. It's in a very extended, hilarious thing, but I'm proud of it too. I'm proud of it. It's a fun bit.
It's a fun bit. But now, are you saying that they're doing Murphy beds from the sky now in apartments rather than from the wall?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, so now they're making like the wall. You could pull it. It'll be a desk.
Okay.
And the ceiling.
Oh, like it lowers.
It lowers to become a bed, and they're charging like $4,500 a month for it. And I was like,
$4,500 a month?
Yeah, a month for the rent. For the apartment.
For the apartment. I was going to say for the bed.
Yeah, for the bed. You got to rent the bed for that much.
I can't.
Potali was out.
Yeah, I'm not using a suspension bed. That's too risky.
Hey, he's too heavy of a guy to think it could work for him. I also think that's why he wore Crocs. So while he's raping them, they were like, "Wait, is he raping me, or is he also wearing Crocs?"
Yeah, gives something to focus on.
Yeah, it really throws you off.
It's kind of like when you go to a dentist and they put something on the TV. It's like it's kind of considerate, you know.
Right. But yeah, so your wife was allowed into the country.
She was allowed in and out of the country. Guys, traveling with not with COVID, but with all the restrictions is a little. You gotta be careful. You gotta know the requirements of all the countries and get like a way to take these portable tests with us so that we can make sure we got a negative PCR test in order to fly back. So we just did it in the hotel room.
Interesting. I'm going to Lisbon in January.
Ooh, we thought about going to Portugal. What are you just going by yourself?
Company's paying for a week.
Ooh,
in Portugal, so the lady will join me. And
nice.
I've never been. I don't know what they do.
I want to go to Portugal. I haven't been yet.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I haven't met. Very few people have gone.
To
Lisbon.
Yeah,
I'm saying.
No. Everyone in my family has.
Oh, really?
But no, I haven't gone yet. But and Porto is supposed to be very nice as well.
Yeah, that's
more of like a foodie, like kind of like a cultural center, I think. But
right, yeah, I don't know. Lisbon's the capital, and that's about what I know.
It's a very small country, and yet one of the early empires really colonized a lot of the world early on.
Yeah, no one really talks about it. They were pretty bad at holding on to it.
I mean, I don't know what their reign, where it really went down, but then they're just got pushed to the side, to the corner of the rape room of Europe, if you will.
Yeah, if you will.
And then they're just, just a little sliver just off of Spain. And then that's it.
They seem to be doing fine.
I think they're content.
They're content.
Yeah.
That's a good word to use. People. They have Brazil.
That's true. I live in Jersey next to a very large, they say it's a Portuguese community, but really Brazilian, Portuguese community. I don't know what the relationship, I imagine.
And a few escaped Nazis.
Oh yeah, a lot of Nazis, and it would explain all the German beer halls. No, I was thinking the way the Spanish, European Spanish, probably think they're better than South American.
You would imagine.
People. I imagine Portuguese probably don't even think there any connection to like Brazilian Portuguese.
No way.
It's also such a weird language. Every time you hear it, like I can never identify what it is right away because it sounds like so many other languages.
It's very sing-songy.
Yeah, it's also, but it's got like a harsher sounds. Like it's not like Spanish enough in a way that you like know what it is right away. It's a very, very curious language.
That might have been some former Nazis speaking Portuguese.
Oh, you
it's
think,
very like.
I think they brought a lot of harsh, phlegmy things to the language. I mean, that would be a good case if the Portuguese language was invented in the 40s, but I feel like it might be a little bit older than that.
Just a smidge.
Just a smidge. It changed. I mean, you can't deny the Nazi influence on the language.
Well, our high school, our principal was Dr. Jorge Schneider.
Okay.
He was Brazilian.
Oh, I was going to say.
Oh, no, Argentinian. I'm sorry, not Brazilian.
Yeah.
And then at the time, I was like, oh, that's weird that he doesn't have like a Spanishy name. And then we learned that Nazis escaped to Argentina and Brazil. And I was like,
Guillermo Rosenblatt, I believe.
No way.
I think he was Argentinian as well. Yeah. Yeah. I think the current president is like, the last name's like Kirchner or something like in.
Really?
In Argentina. Yeah. They got, yeah.
I don't know anything that's going on in Argentina.
Don't need to know. Patagonia. That's all you
Patagonia.
need to know. That's all you.
Messi's playing for PSG now.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
If you care about soccer in any way, congratulations.
Well, I think that's the only thing that they're exporting, right? Argentina doesn't export much. Some wine and soccer.
They're known for their steaks, but again, it's
that's true.
That's just a thing there.
Brazilian steakhouse, though. Do you think I could go to Fogo de Chao in Lisbon?
I think you could if you want to be just the most garbage person on the planet.
Well, I went there in Aruba. No big deal.
I mean, I don't know how much local Aruban cuisine there was on offer.
Not much.
Yeah.
There was a Planet Hollywood.
Was there?
Yeah, and I didn't go. You know how much that took me to not go to Planet Hollywood?
Are you a big Planet Hollywood guy?
I'm just garbage.
They must have
genetically garbage.
But they must have pretty third-tier movie memorabilia.
I mean, isn't that just what Planet Hollywood is?
Yeah, but like, I imagine the one in Hollywood's probably got better stuff. Like probably like
like
Brando's jacket from On the Waterfront, or if that's on the Smithsonian somewhere. I imagine you're getting like stuff from Legally Blonde too. You're not getting the cream of the crop.
Right, Dumb and Dumb.
Yeah, it's all things Katherine Heigl wore in a movie. It's like
sure.
Some straight to video releases, that kind of thing. You know.
Did you not do that growing up? Go to like
no.
Oh, yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
I went to Hard Rock in Times Square. Yeah. I went to Planet Hollywood in Times Square with school.
How many? With school?
Yeah, we went to Planet Hollywood with school.
Garbage Long Island.
We saw The Lion King, and then we went to Planet Hollywood, and boy, were people throwing the N-word around.
From your school?
That was a Long Island trash joke.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, that's just how you guys react. Yeah. That's what happens when you take a bus full of Long Island kids into Times Square.
Yeah, we took a bus, no big deal, not the train.
Fair enough.
we did pretty well.
Actually, we must have taken buses into the city as well for school trips. How many times have you been to that Planet Hollywood?
That was the only time I went.
The only time? How many Planet Hollywoods have you been to?
2.
Okay.
2?
How many Hard Rocks?
2.
Okay.
Maybe more.
That's not too bad.
I also don't travel much, Elliot.
Fair enough.
I didn't really travel my
enough.
entire life. So I went to the Hard Rock in Baltimore, New York City. That's really the only 2 places. I haven't gone to many. And then Planet Hollywood in Niagara Falls on the Canadian side.
That's a bold location.
Yeah.
It's an ambitious scouting. I was about to say, how many Planet Hollywood locations are there? And man, I would not have thought they would put one.
They really lowered the numbers because, I don't know if you knew this, no one was going.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess their thinking is like you got to choose a tourist location that has the kind of garbage tourist that would also go to a Planet Hollywood.
Niagara Falls.
I guess if there's nothing else to compete with in terms of food, or something, because that's what you go
right.
There
there's
for,
no
right?
cultural.
What's the menu like? I mean, in my head, I can sort of envision it.
It's all the same at Hard Rock, Applebee's, Planet Hollywood. It's all here's a bourbon burger and listen, that's what I'm into.
Yeah.
I'm not upset.
No, I'm not gonna say. I guarantee I would enjoy their burger offerings. I would enjoy appetizer sampler. Must be right.
Oh, of course.
Gotta be. I love an appetizer sampler.
I love a sampler.
ideal sampler?
Oh my God, that's a fantastic question. How many options do I get on the sampler?
I was going to say 3, but if it's ideal, 4. 4.
Wow. Okay, so I'll start off mozzarella sticks.
Okay.
Quesadillas.
Quesadillas. Plain cheese, chicken?
I'm going to say chicken, but if it's plain cheese, that's also fine.
Okay. Come with the sour cream, the pico?
Comes with sour cream pico. Okay. I'll even say guac. Low quality, though. It's not great quality.
It's not great quality.
And now this is where things start getting interesting.
Okay. Now, before you, let me try to fill it out for your platter. Now, this is maybe me imposing my own thing.
That's fine.
I'm a wings guy.
That was going to be my third. Bone or boneless?
It's gotta be bone. You're trash, and I know you're going boneless, and that's trash move, and you know it's a trash move.
No, what I'm about to say might be the worst thing I've ever said in my life. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Boneless is an appetizer wing. Bone-in is more of a meal wing.
The logic is like the formulation is like, you know, it's a compelling argument. I have to concede that it's okay, I get you.
So that's why I asked the question, because I firmly believe that if a bone is in a chicken wing, that makes it a meal.
It's like it's like, I made you snack. It's like, what? I just said I wanted something light, but there's bones in these wings.
Well, if you have a Tyson Anytizer chicken bit, it's a nug.
Yeah.
You know?
All right.
I don't think I'm crazy for saying this.
But I mean, would you eat the same quantity of boneless as to both in terms of the actual meat that you're consuming, boneless versus bone-in?
I could.
So then why go boneless then, unless you prefer the boneless?
Because with a sampler, you could just pick at the nugget.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you so you're more into the means of eating is that everything has to be pickable in the same way.
Yes.
Like whereas if you're eating the chicken, now you're committed to eating that piece of chicken.
Exactly.
Before returning to the sampler. Okay.
Yes. That's exactly my thought process here.
But I mean, I suppose if you were like standing up, if it was standing up canapes at like a gallery opening, which would be hilarious to say. It's like I can see in that situation.
If I'm going to a gallery opening and they're giving me bone wings,
I'd love to go to like a super ritzy like gallery opening and insist on getting like Fridays like appetizer sampler says canapes.
Excuse me, where's your Jack Daniel's glaze?
The Met Gala, everyone's getting in their weird $20,000 dresses to get hot sauce on them. I just rubbing on Lady Gaga's dress. It's like, sorry, I couldn't find the wet naps.
Well, that's why her dress is made of meat. Oh, just in case the sauce goes on.
I was gonna say, or made of wet naps, and then everyone gets like a communal. Yeah,
that's good. That's how you get into the press.
Yeah. That's how he was like wet nap dress. What's 4?
Yeah, now what's 4? And I'll tell you, there's a steep drop in appetizers. Those are the 3.
Do you have a ranking of those 3? I mean, you went mott sticks first, which I would have predicted for you just based on everything I know about you and my experience of being near you. I would have said mozzarella sticks is your go-to.
I'm surprisingly not a big mott stick guy.
Not?
No.
But number 1 off the top of the head.
Because I think that belongs on a sampler tray.
Okay. Fair enough.
As well as quesadillas.
Okay. See, quesadillas I wouldn't have thought, because maybe I'm thinking of going to Fridays as a kid. I believe it was mozzarella sticks, potato skins, and wings.
Yes, potato skins are very big on a sampler, and I do not like potato skins.
I love a potato skin, but I would contend probably almost never have they ever actually been executed the way they could be. I don't know if anyone's ever actually made a good potato skin. I've enjoyed what they are, and I think maybe I appreciate their potential to be great, but...
Well, I think with a potato skin, if you think about how they're made, they should be crispy. Yes. But they're never crispy, and I think it's because they're frozen.
Yeah, that's probably it. Like I said, I think it's the kind of thing that someone makes for them, and people like. It's cheap and it's tasty, but to really nail the textures and flavors would require a lot more effort than they probably at those restaurants can afford.
Yes.
But I would like a nice high-end place to do, a gourmet take on it, and I think it would be something special.
I'd enjoy it, but no one's done it yet. I think because no one's just into it.
That's fair. You got to sell people on it because I think called potato skins makes it feel like you're being cheap and like
the pea skins,
just like this. Which I mean, obviously there's a lot of flavor in the skin of it, but it makes you feel like you're just hollowing out all the good stuff is being going towards mashed potatoes.
Yes,
towards something else, and you're just giving me this detritus that's left over, and like, what is this? Just this husk of a potato.
Right, this was some bullshit.
And you sprinkle 3 pieces of bacon on it and like strands of cheddar.
Not enough for me.
It's not a thing. So where's your heart leaning?
I mean, in my ideal world, if I'm not going by societal TGIF, Applebee's, Chili's standards,
yeah.
If I'm making it at my own house, it would be pigs in a blanket.
That's a real curveball.
Because at a restaurant, you're not going to have that option.
It's never on offer at a restaurant.
It's never offered at a restaurant.
Is that a thing that you wish was more available throughout the year?
But just where
would it be?
What time would call for that?
What do you mean? What time of year? You're like seasonally, or do you mean like
if I'm at a sports bar,
yeah,
I would like the option of pigs in a blanket. But outside of that, I don't think they fit in anywhere.
In terms of like the progression of a meal, or like just or like on a menu,
right? On a menu,
it doesn't fit on a menu, yeah.
Right. So what would you say the fourth is?
That's a tough one. I mean, I can think of things where, like you mentioned, deviled eggs before. Never on an appetizer sampler. Maybe it's too rich, but it'd be real nice. Because right now we're talking a lot of, like, it's actually really only one fried thing. I'm trying to think of. I'm gonna keep it reasonable and try to keep it to what people have. Like there's fried mac and cheese balls. That's the kind of thing.
Okay.
Fry is too generic. You can't go fry.
People do it, and I don't like that.
Yeah, to me it's not.
No, fries aren't. They're a side. They're not an appetizer.
Not an appetizer. I agree. There's southwestern egg roll. That's like that's a pretty menu staple. I feel like that's pretty classic.
I'd be open to that.
I'm trying to think. What are the other staples that would be even sliders sometimes? But again, that's just,
I do not like sliders as an appetizer.
It doesn't.
I have strong feelings on that.
Elaborate.
First off, I don't like sliders.
Okay.
If I'm at White Castle,
yeah,
they belong at White Castle.
Yeah.
I do not want sliders as my entree or as an appetizer.
Yeah.
I feel foolish.
Yeah. It does feel silly.
It feels silly.
It's like,
give me a burger.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have 2 of these anyway.
Who are playing?
Right.
What is this? You're wasting my time. You make me feel it's too dainty, and it's not sad. It's never as satisfying. Like, if you eat a burger's amount worth of sliders, it's not as satisfying.
No,
because you consumed it through these tiny little pecks of like just tiny. It's nothing. It just disappears in 2 bites, and it's like it's never as satisfying as 1 bite of a burger.
Agreed.
Okay, so not sliders. Man, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I'd have to consult a menu. I'm trying to think what's in the regular rotation of a chain restaurant appetizer sampler. It
would be like a chicken finger, but we already have the buffalo wings.
That's the thing. If you're doing boneless wings,
I know.
You can't do chicken finger. If you do wings and chicken finger, that's
you can't
still
do
crossing
that.
the line, but it's more sensible because I would say they're 2 different things. I would say they're. The texture and flavor. I'd say they're 2 different things.
But you can't have 2 chickens.
You can't have 2 chickens. I agree. You can't have 2 chickens.
This is why most places don't offer 4, because they don't know what to put on.
But okay, you think 4 is gilding the lily? You just can't do 4.
At this point, we're so committed to 4.
We're committed to 4. Yeah. And what's the 4th one?
I do like what you said with the Southwest egg roll. I personally am not that big of a fan, but I do think it belongs on this tray.
Hear me out. I know we negged the fries. What about bloomin' onion?
You can't do that on a sampler. A bloomin' onion's its own thing.
It is its own thing, but the thing about the picking ad. Now, obviously, you could do that with fries, but like you said, fries.
Maybe onion rings. Can I meet you with onion rings?
You could do onion rings.
I'd be open to that.
It feels like a drop off. That feels like a major.
It is a drop off.
It feels like just like a last minute inclusion in the thing. It's not its own. There's nothing special about it, but I don't know if we're spending too much time on this topic now.
I think we are. We have spent a lot of time on this topic. Way more than I was anticipating. I think your foot's on this thing here.
Oopsie.
You're good.
All right. Yeah. Okay. The point is, I think we established mozzarella sticks. I feel like more often than not a big disappointment to me. Very rarely, I think, are they executed well.
Right. Very rarely do I have a good mozzarella stick where it's strings.
Yes, strings. It's not melted in the middle.
Never.
I'm just biting to a salty piece of cheese.
Yes.
In the middle. It's like, what is this? What is this? Like you've missed the mark on the most essential component of this preparation. Very disappointing.
I mean, also, if we're going to do this at home,
yeah,
a pizza roll would be included somewhere.
Also, you keep talking about doing this at home. I never insisted on doing it at home. I don't know why you're.
Well, because there's two arms of appetizers. There's frozen at home appetizers, and then there's restaurant where it's probably also frozen appetizers.
But if I'm talking ideal, why are you throwing in like some Totino's? I mean, that seems like
because if I'm at home, that would be a part of the ideal spread. Would be some Totino's.
Really?
Yes.
You a big pizza roll guy?
Growing up, I was a very big pizza roll guy.
Did you not find that it was just, I don't know. I feel like I never had the sweet spot of when there were you always had the first one that you've been in way too early.
Yeah.
It just destroys the roof of your mouth.
Yes.
You can't really enjoy the rest of them then. And then just whatever happened inside, it's just like all a mush. There's no discernible there's nothing going on that you can identify.
I don't know if you saw pictures of me from growing up. I didn't really prioritize taste.
Yeah.
More quantity was my thing.
It was more like, what's the most efficient way to get pizza in my mouth?
Right.
It's like I love pizza, but I also like the novelty of like being the guy who has like pistachios in his hand. How do I combine this? I want to be that guy. A fat mobster. Just like, anyway, I was talking to the guy.
That's exactly what it is.
That's a hilarious character.
I have this visual of me growing up because that's exactly how I ate pizza rolls. Was by the fistful and I throw them into my mouth. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, just like a nice like honey roasted almond, but just like a quarter of a slice of pizza.
Right, but there's like Philly cheesesteak in the middle.
Yeah, it's like I want to eat 2 calzones for breakfast, but I want to space it out over 100 plates. How can I do this?
Oh my god, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, so you never been to Planet Hollywood?
Never been to Planet Hollywood.
You were a TGIF family.
We had not a TGIF family, but we did have a Fridays, and like when you hang out with your friends or somebody gets a place where we'd go.
Interesting.
There, because it was like one of the places, just a place in the suburbs that you could go to, or the diner. The diner's huge.
Diner's big.
Obviously.
There's a big hang. You want to give a little fun, quick story here? I wasn't conscious at the time of this, but apparently growing up, I went to go see Santa in the mall. And then my parents took me to TGIF. I don't know how old I was. I think you're good with the mic.
Am I? I think so. Just making
you're
sure.
good.
Fucking around. Wait,
we
start like over again.
We go see Santa in the mall. I'm a baby.
Classic story I've heard of your people.
Yep. Regulars.
Yep.
And we went to TGIF Fridays. We're sitting there. My parents look at the bar. Mall Santa is hammered at the bar.
I mean, yeah. That all checks out.
It's like a ecosystem. It's like a Long Island trash ecosystem.
When you started off the story saying, I don't remember this, I assume this is a story where you were blackout drunk.
Yeah.
Not just that you were too young to remember this happening.
I was sober from 6 until now.
So, okay. So I mean, that's as far as what the mall Santa does with the rest of his day, that's probably on the more wholesome end of things.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, he got a Long Island iced tea at a mall Fridays. Not a bad time.
No. But the Fridays was not attached to the mall or near the mall.
Oh, it was the same one. Oh, it wasn't in the mall.
No, not in the mall.
How far was that same day? Or
same day.
You guys went from the mall to the Fridays?
To the Fridays.
How far was the drive from the mall to the Fridays?
It's probably like a 5-minute drive.
Same area. Okay.
Same area, but you still got to
I'm trying to assess the move. If you're like you're already at the mall, it's like, we're a garbage family. We're gonna have food somewhere near the mall,
right?
But you're not staying at the mall.
No,
you're gonna get back into the car, not drive to a better place, just drive to a different area in the vicinity of the mall.
Yes,
for the food you want. It's a bit of a garbage move there.
No one's denying the garbageness of the move.
Fair enough.
But also back then, we didn't have the options we had today.
Yeah. There had been no ethnic people on the island of Long Island. We had no
back then. No, we just didn't have... We had Ruby Tuesdays. That's not a thing anymore.
What? Did they go away? Ruby Tuesdays was nice.
I'm pretty sure they're not extinct, but they're like they're like rhinos at this point.
Probably, I was gonna say that's not a bad spot. Ruby Tuesdays, definitely a classier, slightly classier crowd above Applebee's. I would say Ruby Tuesdays.
I went to one Ruby Tuesdays and they had a salad bar and that blew my fucking mind.
My dad weirdly raves about the Ruby Tuesday salad bar.
I get it.
It's a good salad bar. There's something about that salad. The salad bar really throws people for their just all sense of how people eat. It's like they're there, like they're gonna have a full meal, like of all the things they want, but then they start off. It's like I'm gonna have 2 crazy loaded salads.
Right.
It's like I don't eat like this outside of this restaurant. I don't know what I'm doing. It's like just like a gamble on like what like it's like I don't normally. It's like their body's like. You're not the sort of person who normally takes in nutrients through vegetables, and your body sees a salad bar. And it's like normally I don't want vegetables, but this arrangement with this selection of toppings, I could go for this
with this amount of dim lighting.
Yeah, but I can't justify being here without also getting a burger or a rack of ribs.
Of course.
So
I mean, we're American.
Now you're just indulging in just your body. I mean, it's just chaos.
Where were the staples for the Alaskans growing up? Where were like the places? What was in the rotation?
So I mean, if you're talking about real like, I'm trying to think. I don't know if Anchorage or Juneau's bigger, but oh, sorry, I thought I thought you were talking. I'm a moron. I thought you said Alaskans. I thought you were talking about if there's any of those.
No, the Laskins.
But my name's Laksin, not Laskin. That's what I was like, what the fuck are we talking about? Alaskan? The Laksin? No, that was embarrassing. You dumb moment. No. So we didn't do stuff. We didn't do stuff like that. I mean, we didn't really go out very often. Earlier on, there was a brick oven like pizza Italian restaurant.
Bertucci's?
No, not a chain place, but it was just a nicer place. We would go there a lot, and then my parents got really into Indian food and Thai food. So there was like a Thai place in Madison, New Jersey that we used to go to. We'd go to some Indian places pretty regularly. It was that kind of thing. But you gotta understand, my parents are much classier people. Also, they come from a country where there was no variety of food available. I mean, there was barely food available sometimes. But so, yeah, being able to like suddenly having options of like other things. Was
that's why I thought you might be like a Pizza Hut family.
No. You thought that's what they would embrace was the Pizza Hut?
Yeah.
I feel like I've been hankering for Pizza Hut for a while.
I've never had it.
I don't know the last time I've had it.
I've never had Pizza Hut. I've had Domino's.
Domino's, I could just never it's always been garbage.
Yeah, but it's like its own thing. Like McDonald's isn't a burger; it's McDonald's.
Yeah, I'm that way with Taco Bell. I think Taco Bell is delicious, and it's just like, yeah, it's not. It doesn't taste like anything. That's what. But nothing else. No one even comes close to getting those flavors. So
yes,
that's so good. But the problem is, I mean, I imagine it's similar to where you grew up in Long Island, but in Jersey, like, if your family if you were a Domino's ordering family, you're beyond garbage for doing that, because every town has at least one decent pizza place. I mean, though every town has a couple pizza places, and you'll have the one that you really like, and you have another one. There's no excuse in New Jersey to order Domino's.
There's one excuse: you're Indian.
Fair enough. And I mean, in which case you probably own the franchise, so that's different.
Right, most likely.
But nah, fair enough. If you don't know.
Those are the only people that ordered Pizza Hut or Domino's in my town were the Indian people.
Really?
You go to an Indian kid's house for his birthday, you're getting Pizza Hut or Domino's.
I knew a kid, my friend Chris Russo, Italian family.
Oh, wow.
From Jersey.
I don't like how this is going to
go. Whenever you get pizza at their house, or like when we were hanging out for some reason, Domino's. It was a Domino's.
And that doesn't make sense to me because the price is roughly the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're not saving money on the Domino's.
I mean, you can get more if you really want the cheesy bread, which people are into. I get it.
It's what
shareable. It is. Could have made the appetizer fourth. Who knows? But not with mozzarella sticks. But
no, but I like where your head's at.
Yeah, but no, it's just every time it's just like, come on, man, you guys gotta spring. If you're hosting people, we're just watching movies and hanging out, and you're not springing for, Maria's or Alfonso's or Nunzio's. Those are all. Just any Italian name, it was a restaurant within 20 minutes of where I lived.
What was your pizza place growing up? What was that called?
So we didn't really have one, but like the one I liked the most was. We just didn't really order pizza very much. It's just not my parents. My parents cooked.
I can't even. Your parents cooked a Russian.
Yeah, they can cook.
As a Russian.
Yeah.
No, they cannot.
You're very funny. Yeah, some of it's an acquired taste. Depends what you're into. But no, so my favorite was Maria's, but it was just a couple businesses down from Alfonso's, which a lot of my friends' families preferred more. But I think I enjoyed Maria's.
Alfonso's was the town go-to, you would say.
I don't know if it's the town go-to. So Alfonso's, I grew up in Scotch Plains, New Jersey. So on
course.
Park Avenue, where my middle school was, close by, there's Alfonso's. A lot of people went to Alfonso's. Maria's is just a little bit down, closer to the public library. I think I preferred Maria's. I think they had like a larger slice. I think I like the texture more.
Okay.
I just remember liking the flavor. Who knows? Both were pretty greasy, I think, but as a kid, I remember enjoying it. Now that I'm more of a connoisseur, I think I'd probably still enjoy them. But those were the two on that side of the town.
Both fair.
Now, there's other sides of town depending on where you live. And, you got your options.
Of course.
There used to be a place called Gus's, I remember. That's a long time ago. I don't remember what it was like. There's so many places. But
I don't like that name.
It's not Italian enough, but in some ways, it's. I mean, I think the problem with the name Gus is it's just an unpleasant word. It sounds like gas. It's not a good name.
It's not a good name.
It's not an appetizing name.
No.
Nunzio's is a good name.
Nunzio's is a great name.
Nunzio's was good.
They probably had a good Italian ice that they offered.
Maybe, I don't know. Well, I think we could probably any Italian restaurant, like your standard Italian restaurant, their desserts, it's just the frozen dessert that you buy anywhere.
Let me ask you this. This seems to be more of a Jersey thing than a Long Island thing.
What?
Did your pizza place offer Zeppelis?
I'm trying to think. I don't think so. No. Do you guys had Zeppelis regular?
Very few places offered Zeppelis, but every time I talk to a Jersey person, their pizza place offered Zeppelis.
Sometimes, I don't think I ever saw them. I think I've seen places where sometimes have it on the menu, but I don't think it was a common thing. The only time I ever had Zeppelis was when we go to the Italian festival every year.
Yes, Zeppelis are a fair food.
It is a fair food. It's an odd. I mean, there's just odd things to order. It depends on the kind of pizza. It's a pizza place that's just a pizza place. Sometimes a lot of them were pizza places that also had a pasta menu, which just you shouldn't order from them. And sometimes it's like a pizza place that's sort of got that Italian deli counter thing going on.
Yes.
Where there's always a tray of the eggplant rollatini, which is just who's ordering?
No one's ever ordered it.
No one's ever ordered that. Who named it? That can't be a real name. That can't be an Italian name, right? Rollatini. Right. It's just there. And there's a loose tray of cutlet and like parms, and it's like you pizza place, get the pizza, and that's it. None of these other things should even be available as options. And their desserts are just it's just like there's a frozen tartufos that they have, which I don't know where they get from, or like I'm trying to think about the tiramisu situation. It's very
tiramisu, in my opinion, most overrated dessert of all time.
I think it might be fair, but I think it's also because it can be great. It's not an easy dessert to do well.
No,
because you really have to. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. It's a delicate dessert. You have the lady fingers. You really have the coffee. You have the liqueur. There's a lot goes into it. But when you get tiramisu at your standard place, it's just like a vaguely coffee flavored generic pudding.
Yes,
which delicious. Not saying it's not delicious, but it's incomplete as a dessert. It tastes like you're gonna pipe this onto a cake. It's like gonna be part of another dessert, but it's all one texture. That's the problem. Is people forget the texture.
I want to hire you because you really show your legal skills during describing food. Because you describe it exactly how I feel. I just would never be able to describe it like that. I need your phrasing.
Yeah, I'm a big dessert guy. Also, like I said, I was just in Venice, which is the Northeast. I believe Treviso is where I believe they say tiramisu was invented.
Really?
I believe they say it's from there. Italians are very specific about the regional.
Yes.
It's one of the most annoying traits about Italian Americans is how much they give a shit about stupid regional, like where their ancestry is from, of like where it doesn't matter.
Oh my God! Have you ever seen an Italian find out another Italian's from the same region?
It's the worst.
It's like two dogs from the same litter that haven't seen each other in years.
It is like that. I mean, literally, in terms of my respect for them as like intellectual beings, is on par. It's just who cares? It's such it's uniquely Italian. I think I'm sure maybe other countries might do this, but it's such a small. I think the problem with Italy is all the last names I think are. It's either the name of a town or it's the name of a product they make in that town.
Oh, is that true?
I think so. I think if you look up any Italian person's last name, you'll be able to say, oh, that's a town here, or that's a food that they eat in that town. That's where their names from. I don't think their names are just... They're Italians are just dumb people. They just name things after what they see first. Like, oh, that's a couch. That's the Italian word for couch. I'm Johnny Couch now, and that's it. And then your your family moved to Jersey, and now they're the Couches, and that's what it is. That they're just dumb at naming things. That's Italian culture.
Okay,
that's what Italians are. It's Leonardo da Vinci. He's Leonardo from Vinci.
Right. Yeah. Really? No.
It's like,
that's so many People.
Yeah.
Chris Stefano.
Yeah. Let me guess where you're from. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but then I don't know. There was something with this bastardized way they speak. I mean, you said it with mozzarella.
Italian American versus
Italian American. Yeah. I mean, I wish I could. We went on one tour to the Prosecco Hills when we were just there. I kind of wish I didn't think to ask, but I would like to ask the guy. It's like, what do you think of like Italian Americans?
I think they think lower of them.
I would imagine, but I'd really want to see that. I'd want to really experience how much contempt they would have. I would hope it's a lot.
I think it is a lot.
They're probably very nice about it, but I would hope it's like, no, you should unleash on these people because they're deserving of a torrent of hate. These people are the scum of the earth.
I think that's strongly against them.
I don't know if they want. I would like to hear something along those lines.
Did you do a gondola ride?
No, not this time. It's crazy expensive. It's just not worth. I did that one in the Venetian Hotel in Vegas once. Actually,
I think that's garbage.
That is garbage. No, we actually here's the very last day. The most Italian thing was we were going to take a water taxi. So you can't get around Venice. There's no cars. You can't have cars in Venice because there's no roads.
Right.
So you can walk around pretty easily, or there's like a ferry, or you can take a private water taxi. Very expensive. So we're going to take the ferry back to the main part of town and then catch a cab from there to the airport. The last day we were supposed to do it, we wake up, we go there, the ferry workers are on strike.
No way.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say no more water.
No more water.
It's all gone.
They just forgot to add water. It's like me with a plant. The ferry workers on strike, so we had to take a private water taxi to the airport, which was like 100-something euros. But it's a very good, but it's not. It's like a really long speedboat, but it's just private for me. And probably, which is pretty nice. It's like, so that was the only time we went on the water during the trip was, or except for taking the ferry a couple times, was that private boat. Which is nice. It goes through the canal.
Very interesting. Yeah. Isn't it also like, don't they say, I know after COVID, it was very clean, but before that, it was very dirty. Am I correct?
That's my memory. It was very clean there. I remember being there as a kid. I remember the water looking very dirty, and it looked very clean. It was super clean this time. And so I don't know if that's a new, recent thing or if they changed something. Because when I was younger, it was pretty dirty looking. But this time around, very clean. I mean, very nice.
The Chinese did something right.
Yeah. I mean, also just in general favor of like just population control. So I was supporting the Chinese before they unleashed.
You heard about the Uyghurs? You were like,
yeah,
all right.
Don't know who they are. Don't know what they do. But would I notice if they're gone? Nope, I wouldn't.
I just found out who they were.
Yeah, I mean, I just know they're Muslim, some sort of Muslim.
Yeah,
Chinese
that's what they're saying.
All right. I mean. All right. That's not a good reason. Are they being... What's happening? They're being rounded up and killed? Is that it?
Yeah, they're doing a whole... It seems to be some sort of... I don't know to the extent of the Holocaust, but they're doing a concentration camp situation.
Concentration camp vibe?
Yeah.
You know what would help them save space on that is a couple Murphy beds. Really... that's we really want to maximize your space.
That's fun.
That's fun.
Okay. We'll end on that.
Sounds good.